It is a good thing you are watching this Dumatek starter video for the introduction and possible adoption of the asset inventory solution called Otbase, especially if your operations is any of the following: oil and gas, energy, factory manufacturing, water, and any operational technology industry. Dumatek is the sole distributor of Otbase for the Philippines, appointed by the founder, who is Ralph Langner. Ralph is an advisor to the U.S. military, the White House, the UN, as well as some governments of other countries. He advises them in protecting their large and complex critical infrastructures and operations, especially ones with lots of OT assets spread all over the world. Ralph Langner is unparalleled in securing such complex operations and gigantic infrastructures, proven from cracking the Stuxnet virus that destroyed the Iranian nuclear plant in 2010. The Philippines is now added to the list of countries that can now be secured with Otbase, an opportunity that should not be passed knowing the conflicts escalating over the South China Sea. So, look forward to adopting to this game-changing solution, Otbase. It is being introduced to help Filipinos like you get ahead in safety and security, especially when dealing with the complexities in digitizing operational technology. There was no software like Otbase in the Philippines until now. It is new and the first of its kind in the Philippine market. In many cases, it is mistakenly categorized in the threat detection category, causing many to miss knowing what Otbase is for OT security, especially if one finds their threat detection solution already pretty good. So first, know that Otbase is not a threat detection solution, or TDS, and I hope now this pokes your curiosity about what Otbase really is. Take note that many Filipino OT teams are using stacks of visibility solutions trying to attain an accurate and holistic asset inventory to show they have a resilient, proven OT security framework in place. Many are using threat detection solutions for full asset inventory, and for OT security, they are falling short because the main focus of these solutions is threat detection and not asset inventory. You should have asset inventory in place before threat detection solutions, because TDS inevitably has to use passive network monitoring that needs to be on always to have effective threat detection. These are big giants like Dragos, Nozomi, Clarity, or even Aramis. You cannot do without threat detection in cybersecurity, but these outfits have been pushing passive network monitoring as if they are able to provide full coverage for asset inventory and OT security. But they don't, because good OT security has no blind spots, and because when there is no traffic on the net, this approach sees nothing, inevitably leaving blind spots. Also, hybrid approaches are being offered by creative vendors as a quick solution, as if merging two methods somehow make better addressing the true challenges in OT security, and this doesn't work either. Dashboards that display full of unknowns and inconsistencies only offer conditional data that looks believable, but again, will easily leave a cybersecurity officer guessing security with still too many blind spots or ghost assets to deal with, or just as worst, not making the cut in compliance. Cybersecurity officers are only able to develop visibility over 70 to 80% of their total assets, because the rest are legacy assets they cannot seem to discover. This is considered dangerous and non-compliant in the United States. Don't be a victim of your phantom killers hiding in these blind spots, as these ghost devices can cost an operations hundreds of thousands of pesos, millions even, and can add up to billions in a year sometimes. Wouldn't it be nice if you can prove and also show that you have better visibility proven by increasing the number of devices discovered using Otbase? And wouldn't you have a better chance making your OT security more resilient, seeing and knowing all you have? This is what Otbase delivers. Otbase should be used by every operation heavily populated with operational technology to have a foundation for proper OT security. This means you use Otbase as a foundation to implement administrative, physical, and technical security safeguards and standards to keep the operations up and running. This covers where to place threat detection like Dragos, Nozomi, or Clarity, and will also tell you where they are not needed, which can be a surprising savings sometimes. Otbase interfaces with risk management and makes your incident response plan active at all times. Your challenges will always be true and real, making no room for guessing. Not like IT, that focuses on maintaining CIA, which is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. OT security, on the other hand, is totally different, which focuses only on maintaining availability, which is keeping the operations up and running at all times and ready always when needed. It really is maximizing production capabilities, and bottom line, you cannot secure or fix what you don't know or have no visibility on. So use Otbase to cover your largest blind spot. This blind spot predominantly is comprised of your legacy assets. Use Otbase for your foundation to have a holistic asset inventory, contextualized with metadata pertinent to OT asset management and security. Safety, savings, and security are major benefits of this game changer. Otbase ensures safety by making all asset information pertinent to OT asset management available in one organized application, and all asset information necessary for OT security is centralized and safely at fingertip reach with Otbase, eliminating the need for personnel to go through difficult and unsafe areas just to verify asset information. You get a substantial savings using Otbase because it is literally designed to eliminate ghost and rogue devices, which account for at least 40 to 60% of hidden or acceptable waste like stack losses or scrap. This is waste that Otbase can turn into profit. And for security, Otbase secures your operations by telling you in segmentation what you need to properly secure every area of your operations. Nothing left out. It boosts homeland security because it eliminates an operations blind spots, which can be areas threat actors might be able to take advantage of. Otbase is great for obsolescence, change, and audit management, and it is a comprehensive approach for managing vulnerabilities and prioritizing them. This adds to the proof of value that leans more towards understanding the need and importance to adopt and integrate Otbase. Proof of value is important to decide if Otbase is necessary for adoption and integration. Otbase does not only provide visibility improvement, but also metadata that is pertinent information for proper OT asset management and resilient OT security. The metadata for any given asset can include asset name, vendor, make, model, firmware revision, hardware revision, serial number, asset ID, MAC address, IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, serial ports, even communication protocol support like Modbus, DMP3, Ethernet IP, or IPRFiNet. It can also include physical location, rack unit, cabinet number, critical rating, operational hours, last known good patch, encryption capability, open ports, active services, last communication timestamp, network zone assignment, security zone classification, failover redundancy, asset owner, department assigned, end of support date, warranty expiration, manufacturer's CVE history, default password status, remote access enabled or not, physical access control, air-gapped or not, physical access control, integration level 0 to 5, and even risk score if applicable. Also, threat model with compliance tags like NERCs or ISO, documented dependencies, and a whole bunch of free text fields that can be used for updates. If this doesn't make you see how Otbase changes everything, I'm not sure what will. You can see a spitting image of this using your own discovery file and a snapshot. So ask your representative for a snapshot once you have your own discovery file to process. It should give you all the reasons why you should adopt and integrate Otbase. Anyway, speaking about processing your own discovery file, let's look into the architecture of Otbase for adoption and integration, so you can get that safety, savings, and security it offers. The architecture of Otbase has 2 tiers. The first tier is called OT-based discovery, used for discovering all asset devices in a network, and can discover thousands of devices in just minutes. It is a powerful, non-abrasive discovery tool used to find everything. Presented as the bottom half of this architectural diagram, it is one-directional for security by design. OT-based discovery is widely used to ensure legacy assets are included in asset inventory, as it seems to be the one thing lacking for many. OT-based discovery ensures a holistic asset inventory that should immediately present a proof of value if the OT-based discovery process shows more devices than what the OT team normally deals with on a daily basis. More assets or devices found suggests better visibility for OT security and a step towards minimizing acceptable losses that can equate in the millions of pesos or even billions a year. This is one of the main reasons why management adopts and integrates Otbase. They know getting an accurate count of all assets is already a huge undertaking for many. What more being able to discover legacy assets without having to schedule downtime or reboots. This is a huge plus, making it easy to get started towards a holistic asset inventory with legacy included. In any case, Otbase uses active probing for discovery, which is not risky at all, and uses all the protocols of all manufacturers to communicate with both new and legacy devices, a combined approach to discover all of them. Otbase for discovering OT assets is unparalleled, but you'll need your internal management team with instructions to cover ground quickly. The second tier in the architecture of Otbase is inventory. It's the top portion of this architectural diagram. It is where all assets get contextualized with metadata pertinent to OT asset management and security. Otbase inventory is best hosted in a server at the enterprise level, so it's easy to get to for uploading discovery files. Every discovery file generated by the managers is uploaded into inventory to add for a holistic asset inventory representing the operations. Eventually, this is automated where files are generated automatically and uploaded during a set time of day. Through access control, management will have the ability to zoom into any asset regardless of where the asset sits in the world, and see the associated metadata, eliminating prediction and allowing the ability to development a resilient OT security framework. Planned or unplanned changes will cause alerts. Every vulnerability of every asset will be listed and prioritized, where actions will be based on criticality. Obsolescence for legacy assets will be manageable with Otbase. And the reporting capabilities of Otbase used for compliance is also a main reason why management adopts and integrates Otbase. Otbase inventory is where Langner makes its money and has a tiered pricing model, priced based by the number of devices discovered. The more the devices in inventory, the lesser the cost. But to get a ballpark cost, just multiply current asset count by $60. The figure you come up with should be a safe ballpark cost to cover all operational and informational technology with Otbase. If you have 5,000 devices, it will truly cost about $32 per device. But not to worry about the cost, because the return of investment should hit within 120 days. Then you should be turning waste into profit, a benefit you get simply by using Otbase. The largest manufacturers and oil and gas companies in the world use Otbase for managing their asset inventory, intentionally to have resilient OT security for their OT asset management. Otbase maintains system inventory in the workspace and produces network topologies too, so drawing network diagrams become obsolete. As a matter of fact, there are a number of things that become obsolete once automation sets in with Otbase. Out-of-the-box Otbase in its workspace has built-in vulnerability management that prioritizes obsolescence management, auditing tools, asset health tracking, access control, location directory, and service profiles, listing all vulnerabilities by the asset. But don't get too far ahead. All this means nothing if Otbase cannot improve your visibility by exposing your ghost assets that are probably predominantly legacy assets. A popular reminder in OT security is that you cannot secure what you don't know or cannot see, is a very profound saying, so if Otbase cannot expose your legacy assets, we are right back to square one, and we would be the first to tell you, do not adopt Otbase. But if it does, we just gave you your golden ticket to better safety for your people, as well as a tremendous saving setup with a true ROI turning waste into profit, and a resilient and cybersecurity framework that can easily meet compliance to imposed government requirements and contribute to Philippine homeland security. Through Dumatek Logistics, a golden ticket has been presented for safety, savings, and security. Let me tell you how to go about getting it. From here, you have a choice to request for a demo, to see the guts of Otbase prior to attaining authorization, or if confidently technically inclined, cut through the chase and go straight into requesting authorization to have 10 days to use Otbase Discovery, and see if it improves visibility by increasing asset count and inventory and accounting for legacy assets. To request for a demo, simply send an email to info@dumatek.com and request for a demonstration of Otbase. Dumatek will then schedule a Zoom meeting for you for the demo. But if you can't wait to see if Otbase improves your visibility, you can cut through the chase and immediately request for authorization to have 10 days to use Otbase Discovery to see if it really improves your overall asset visibility by comparing what you had versus what Otbase comes up with, and provided you can follow the simple tech instructions it comes with. Once you make the request via email, a response from Dumatek will have an attached application that will need to be filled and sent back for authorization. Email Dumatek at info@dumatek.com and request for the application to get authorization. The authorization will execute an email with a link to download Otbase Discovery. Once Otbase is downloaded, you can install it in a Windows system either already connected to the network, or you can use a laptop, which can be better if you are required to connect to multiple networks through their independent switches, a process everyone goes through at least once to build a holistic report. Using Otbase Discovery is easy, and to cover ground quickly, several managers and operations can be used to run Discovery in their own departments, all at the same time. Basically, use them to cover ground quickly to get a clear picture of the whole operations. Otbase is software only, and after getting authorization from Dumatek to run Otbase Discovery on-site for 10 days at no cost, just to see if visibility improves, give each manager the Otbase application so they can install and discover assets in their own area and submit their discovery file to add for a holistic asset inventory. Visibility improvement will be apparent when legacy assets show up for the first time, and when there is an obvious increase in asset count and inventory. Otbase Discovery might feel a little intimidating to run first time, so it can be first tried in a selected low-risk but high-impact area like a control room, and use it to gain comfort discovering assets without interfering with production, and without having to schedule any downtime or reboots. This process is used to attain proof of value for the adoption and integration of Otbase. If more assets are discovered in the process, and without doubt visibility improves, it should be a no-brainer to adopt and integrate Otbase for the safety, the savings, and the security it offers. So, if you are heavily populated with operational technology and legacy assets are a challenge to get on asset inventory, or if you need to meet compliance to the new DOE law because you are designated a CII, give Otbase a try simply to see if it becomes a game changer for you. Thank you for watching. Please email Jerry Demetal at jerry@dumatek.com for direct management support, or email info@dumatek.com and get a demo or an authorization to download and explore Otbase.